You can hear us.
We can hear you, Nick.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
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 Okay. Can you see us?
Yes.
I can't, but I can hear
Can you
you.
see the meeting room?
Think they can just see this.
Yes.
Oh, got a yes?
Okay, they can see the meeting room and they can hear us.
Okay.
They can see the presentation.
No, but can they see the room?
No.
Oh,
I think unless someone has though ideally we'd be able to see the room unless there's someone that has a specific need. I think we can continue with the presentation. Okay. Okay. So that brings us to our action options. We can recommend the TPP approve MTP Amendment 1 as presented, not approve, or approve with specific changes. Our recommendation is recommend the TPP approve MTP 2050 as presented. Tip Amendment 5. So as one of our regular scheduled amendments, our public comment period was from June 27th through July 11th. Brings us today for our Amendment 5 TAC recommendation with anticipated amendment TPP vote on August 12th, 2020. So you can check this out and the details in your packet or as an attachment linked in your packet or at the webpage shown at the URL. There are 7 projects in this amendment that have requested changes that require a formal amendment and TPP and TAC approval. 3 requests for new projects, 3 removed from the tip, and 1 for a project to be modified. In addition, we also wanted to provide notice of 9 administrative adjustments to projects that don't require formal action by TAC or TPP. So you can find this map in your packet. It's on page 2. I usually cheat. I have it on the bottom of the slide there. This is in your TAC pack or in your packet that's in front of you. Sorry, Nick. Do you have what page that is? 27. Thank you, Lynn. Projects that are requiring formal action. We have the City of Goddard's 23rd Street expansion. It's a new project. The 183rd Street expansion. That's also a new project. We have KDOT's number 6 or bridge number 65 and bridge number 66 on I-235 in Sedgwick County. That a slight cost increase paid for with BRF and state funds, addition of row acquisition and utility road location phases, and update to project notes. And then we have 3 projects that have been removed. The EV charging station at Exploration Place, sponsored by KDOT. KDOT's Intelligent Transportation System devices in Wichita, US 54 and K96 in Wichita. That project is removed as well. And the K&O Railroad and Harry Street in Wichita, also sponsored by KDOT. That one is removed too. And then finally, we have 1 new KDOT project, the I-135 from Junction I-235, I-135 north to the Sedgwick County, Harvey County. We did have several administrative adjustments, none of which resulted in any changes to overall suballocated funding. And here is a summary of all the federal funding on the 2025-2028 TIP Amendment 5 projects. Also a summary funding changes to all the projects. Again, no changes on WAMPO's suballocated funding. And then in this update, we have non-project list updates. So it also makes revisions to TIP sections that do not affect project funding. Again, this is to be consistent with new USDOT guidance. In addition to some of the language changes to fit that guidance, there was some edits to fix typos, correct grammars, improve word choice and formatting, correct minor inaccuracies, and perform other editorial changes for clarity. And the Appendix E, environmental justice, and Appendix H, the project evaluation criteria, have been removed. They're not explicitly, the project evaluation criteria is not explicitly to be required to be within the TIP document. And then, of course, we're looking at providing some administrative adjustment or some formal changes to those criteria as we discussed earlier in the director's report. Amendment number 5 meets requirements that have the public comment and review period consistent with the Metropolitan Transportation Plan 2050. It's fiscally constrained and financially adds $13.7 million. Which brings us to our action options. We have we can recommend the TPB approve the FFY 2025-2028 TIP Amendment number 5 as presented, not approve TIP Amendment number 5, or approve with specific changes. Staff recommendation is to recommend the TPB approve TIP Amendment number 5 as presented. Oh, so who's, they can only hear this mic? Okay. Okay. So the chair has presented a motion to approve amendment number 5 as presented.
All those in favor say aye.
Next, we just wanted to bring notice of several administrative adjustments that we're making to some of our other planning documents. A lot of what you're going to see on this slide is repeating what we've been talking about earlier with new USDOT guidance. With that in mind, we are looking at completing some minor language changes that do not require formal amendments. The notice of these particular documents that we're talking about today are the congestion management process, the comprehensive safety action plan, and the regional transit implementation plan. With that in mind, in our agenda packet, you can find specific links that show both the before and, both the final changed administrative adjusted document and also a version that shows you all of the specific changes that we made for that language. So if you have any questions, you can look at that and find exactly what we edited and where. Changes intended to ensure consistency with new USDOT guidance. And then, of course, as we were going through, there was edits to correct grammar, improve word choice, and correct minor inaccuracies, and perform other editorial changes for clarity. With that, any questions on those documents? This will probably be the first of quite a few of these update items on these administrative adjustments on many of our planning documents. And that brings us to our Regional Intelligent Transportation System, ITS architecture update. We are finalizing our documents, and I'm going to turn things over to Matt Baker with JEO.
Yeah, just checking, Peter.
Can you tell us more about where we are in this project?
Peter, can you hear me in the room?
Matt, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
Can't hear
can you hear me? Checking.
Matt, can you try speaking?
Yes, I am speaking. You cannot hear me though.
We can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Okay, yeah, as Peter mentioned, we've been busy and productive this spring and into this summer, wrapping up our deliverables on the ITS architecture project. Next slide. Next slide, please. If you can see on the WAMPO website, all of the deliverables have been posted for your review. That includes an executive summary. That's a very brief summary of what we have accomplished. The additional details are within the ITS architecture report. Details include the process that we went through, the definitions of what was accomplished, and then, of course, the results that include a brand new updated architecture. Next slide.
You got
one more slide. Thank you. We also address the maintenance of architecture that will happen on a periodic basis to keep it up to date so we can avoid lapsing in our coverage. You will also notice you do have access to the RADIT file itself, although this is not meant for public consumption. In favor of public consumption and to make things easier, everything in the RADIT file has been exported to a website form. If you go into the website and you look along the left side, those are all interactive portions where you can see where stakeholders are listed, the description of stakeholders, inventory of ITS items, everyone's roles and responsibilities, and et cetera, including some agreements as well. Next slide. Everything then was included. However, we kept the ITS deployment plan separated. This allows for quicker adaptations to technology developments. That deployment plan was developed with a stakeholder driven concept in mind. We definitely like to highlight the kind of important parts around the region that this map shows, some kind of those hot spots that are based on both accidents but also congestion. Gives you a good idea of where ITS would be useful to deploy. Next slide. So then the final steps is, as everything is posted, everyone is welcome to review and provide comments. We intend to have a public comment period of at least 30 days. And we also will engage Federal Highway Administration for 30 days to receive their comments and anything that needs to be addressed. We will target submission for approval from this committee and TBB later this fall. Any questions? I might have to take those in the chat.
any questions for Matt? Okay. And that brings us to
This should be on.
Chris should be. Chris, we're on our discussion item for safe routes to school. We are ready when you are.
All right, sounds good. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can. Okay, great. All right. Well, appreciate the time this morning to update everyone again on the Safe Routes to School planning assistance effort. Focus of this presentation will be updates regarding the engagement process that is just kicking off as we speak and will be proceeding into the fall. So I'll give a brief overall status update, and then you can see those 4 subsequent bullets going through item by item related to all of our engagement activities. Next slide. So the status by each element. Again, we are kind of going through this 2-track system of best practices guidance and then the action planning efforts. And so not too much to update here, so as we've been focusing mostly on getting the engagement off the ground, but we do continue to work through drafts of each of the existing editions profile, as well as a best practices guidance into the winter timeframe here. And I think the key piece here that I want to update is just on the action planning side of things. We are at 53 schools now out of the 60 that we were scoped for. So there are a couple spaces remaining, if you will. We are trying to close that out as soon as possible, given our upcoming engagement here that's kicking off. And so just do ask if there's any locations that come to mind here, please do let us know as soon as possible. And if there are any questions, I don't know if I can hear anything in the room, so just please throw them in the chat and I can answer them along the way here. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback, but I don't know if that's a question or not.
And Chris, since I have the working mic, I can relay any questions that the group has.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I think though I don't see any questions, so.
Okay, no problem. I just was hearing some feedback, so I didn't know if that was a different. No problem. I'll keep on rolling.
Mr. Chair, I just want to thank Kim for coming out to Goddard last week and engaging with our school districts. It was a great opportunity to kind of get that front and ready for further engagement to come. So appreciate her being out there.
Good work. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it.
All right.
Michelle, more, oh, sorry.
No, yep, we can go to the next slide. I'll keep on rolling through the presentation. So this is just a visual map of the 53 schools that we've received to date. So just showing each of the school districts that have reached out to us and where those are located. So some very good geographic coverage here across the region. Here's our engagement timeline. So as mentioned, right now we are organizing or have organized the communications plan of preparation. And so I think the really critical piece here is continuing to identify points of contact and liaisons. So having dedicated folks from each school district, as well as down to the school level as well, to help us in organizing these various efforts. And so we've had a few points of contact roll in, but again, just really highlighting the great importance here of making sure that we have direct lines of communication and engagement from all of our partners, and do appreciate the continued support through that stakeholder group in helping make this a success. The engagement calendar here is showing each piece of the puzzle. So you can already see again the point of contact. I'm a bit of a broken record here, but going through each piece, the community survey, the parent caregiver survey is live. It's an online survey. I will be sending out materials here today, which will be standard communication for a e-newsletter or social media, as well as the link. I will also be sending out a couple appointments, so offering some kind of open office hours, Q&A sessions, if you will, to answer any questions from folks either this week or next week pertaining to the survey. And you can see this kind of process is consistent throughout. So as we're sharing out materials through these major milestones over the coming weeks, we'll offer some Q&A time for folks to jump on as they're able to and answer any questions. And then, work through the process that you're seeing here, which is, formally starting to advertise the survey in the month of August and September, having that survey open for quite a while, but that's kind of intentional, just given the, kickoff of the school year, as well as all the fall events that will be occurring in communities across the region through October, which I'll touch on here at the end of the presentation. So we'll be open for several months. Then we also have the student tallies and walk audits that I'll dig into a bit more here, but those materials will be coming out here very soon as well. So just a reminder that look out for your updates in your inbox here over the next several weeks. So the survey is both several questions on SurveyMonkey as well as an interactive map that you can actually put a location of an issue area for walking, biking, or other, wherever you so choose. So we'll be collecting data on a variety of components of how students are traveling to school, level of comfort and perceptions, and this will inform a variety of upcoming efforts that is related to this process that I'll touch on here in a minute. And so I think the key pieces here of why this survey is important is it'll provide us an understanding of parent caregiver perceptions of why or why not their child or children is walking, rolling, or biking to school. And then also, how are they getting to school today? Which mode are they choosing to use? It'll provide us specific locations of concern using that online map, which will be great data to have. And then we'll also be able to understand kind of key information related to students, again, their typical travel to school, their distance to school, what they're encountering along the way, and also some optional questions related to demographics that correlate to the typical information that's collected by the Department of Education there in the state. So breaking things down kind of into the data that's being collected and how it's applying. So qualitatively, there'll be some perceptions, some feelings, concerns, and so that's just good information to know as it informs programmatic pieces of the puzzle here, if you will, and how we can create a holistic Safe Routes to School program that will promote walking, rolling, and biking for those that maybe aren't doing it today. Quantitatively, we'll just get a lot of good data on the students themselves, the modes they're using, and their distance in which they're traveling to from school, from their home. And then solutions will also include, beyond the programmatic pieces, perhaps other elements that will increase walking, rolling, and biking, such as infrastructure improvements related to locational data and other opportunities. So this is really a great and important part of the our effort here to get engagement and feedback through these means. Student travel tallies. So this is a standardized form that we'll be sharing out here in the next week. And it collects information related to those two questions with a raise of hands of how did you arrive to school and how do you plan to leave school. And then this, there'll be a fillable PDF form for teachers. This is just a great snapshot in time that can be used as a barometer for future improvements to see if there's changes in how students are traveling to from school and how they are traveling today. They can inform other improvements. Then there's the audits. So this is another really critical piece, and do want to highlight any opportunities for partnership here. And so, it is required about an hour of review time for that day, both in the morning at the beginning of the school day and at the end of the school day. Typically, we really encourage having at least one person from the school there that, obviously understands the day-to-day issues and travel patterns. We also greatly appreciate agency staff, local partners that can be present there, since a lot of this infrastructure discussion is occurring on roadways owned by the city or county or state. So having folks there to represent accordingly is always appreciated and important. So just putting a plug out there that this will be coming out towards the end of August, early September. We'll be scheduling these through the fall. And so hoping to have continued partnership and support from our local agency partners and attending these as able. And so, we'll be doing these for all 53 schools as it stands today. And so, having as much coverage as possible for these, and there's your minimum group of typically about 3 people to provide enough coverage to, see what's going on during those peak times, as well as execute a brief walk audit surrounding the immediate area of the school. We'll use a standardized form, and we collect as much data as we can that'll inform future recommendations for primarily infrastructure improvements, but also could inform programmatic elements as well. So call to action, if you will, is we just need continued support to get the word out, most notably with the survey right now, but otherwise, just continued coordination as we work these other pieces of the puzzle related to the tallies and the walk audits. So greatly appreciate any continued support there. And then just also the call for points of contact. And so we will be, juggling, working with, tens and tens of schools. And so really needing to have a dedicated person there that's able to answer the phone, answer an email, and just provide us any brief support that we need to coordinate appropriately. And finally, here's a working list of fall events that we are coordinating with WAMPO staff to hopefully attend as able in person, and get the word out on this effort overall, as well as share opportunities for engagement through the survey. And so these are the publicly available events that we were able to Google and find to date. Obviously, I'm sure others will continue to be posted as summer wanes into fall here, but just wanted to share the working list of events so far. So those are the updates I have. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, so if there's any questions, as you can see, we're really ramping up and starting to get into the data collection and the full engagement piece as we get ready to get back to school. So if you have any schools or any other questions.
Thank you. And also, I want to thank all jurisdictions as well as the great project where everybody's coming together. Stakeholder committees will also contribute about what events are there and what schools are critical and so on. So thank all.
Absolutely, yes. The jurisdictions have been critical to the success of recruiting these schools, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.